What up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? Justice for Brianna. Justice for Brianna, y'all. Make sure y'all can hear me. How's everybody doing? So I got YouTube connected, Twitter also connected. Uh, we getting in there on Instagram. How y'all doing? All right, all right. So what's up? That's my comrade. So hopefully y'all can hear me. All right. A couple of things I want to talk about today. Let me take this off. So let's dive into a number of issues. One, I want to talk about. I gotta talk about brothers, uh, black men. I want to have a conversation with black men and the things that we can do. So, where black men at right now? Uh, and I say this from my point of view and from my perspective uh, in doing the work. I don't think people who are not doing the work could be even talking about anybody else, right? So you got to be doing the work. You got to be on the battlefield. You so I got to ask all the time, where are black men right now? We can't be theorists and shit. We can't just be. You can't be comfortable with just being. Everybody's a theorist. Everybody. Let me make sure this phone's quiet. Everybody's a theorist, right? But how do you actually know that your theory makes sense? And where do you get a theory? So this is our praxis, right? So let's discuss that. So the theory is, it's a bunch of theories that are out there. Don't support BLM, Black Lives Matter, because gay agenda. We heard that, trans issues, so on and so forth. White power been there the entire time. You know what I'm saying? 400 years. You know what I'm saying? The anniversary when we came to this country was last year. That's 400 years. Now all of a sudden we want to act like there's a problem with the gay community. Now these are fringe folks. Nonetheless, there's some folks that hold these kind of issues, right? So we have to discuss that. So we saw Brianna get killed. Breonna Taylor was murdered sleeping. So we're not going to rest that issue until it's sufficient justice. You know, um, I'm not going to take the lead on what that justice looks like. I'm going to listen to the community. How y'all doing? Good morning. Uh, so it doesn't make any sense that we gonna put it aside. See, this is the problem. There's a number of issues that I would love to be talking with black men offline, right? And definitely, we had to try that with black men dismantle patriarchy and misogyny, right? And so now it's just a group. It's just a group that's online. It's on. You can go to Facebook and you can jump on, right? That's all it is right now. Is just a particular group. So, but I'm talking to black men, and so if black women think it's going to be easier, y'all pressing it when I can't. It's going to be tough. It's difficult. With that being said, a lot of brothers have definitely stepped up. Last week, December 12th movement, which is based in here in New York, we got a black men had traveled and walked together in mass after the ridiculous verdict, not verdict, but the non-indictment. I call it a non-indictment uh, in the murder of Breonna Taylor. And so I don't know, about 15 to 20 black men, walked to Lafayette Gardens. Just a little bit more than a mile. Not really, and doing so December 12th, who I'm not a member of, but I'm an organizer. So even if you're not in my organization, I'm still looking to do work, but you got to be in an organization. I'll talk about that, a little later. So we went and we traveled. Now I say that it's lackluster and I have concern because there wasn't enough black men. 15 to 20, not enough black men. Now, granted, I got the message a day before, but I'm sure some black men already knew, that this was happening, right? So that's that. It's a huge problem if we kind of go on about in our lives and not considering that we're being hunted. I don't give a fuck if we laying in the bed, we at a rally, it happens. We're driving to work, and it happens. That's us being hunted. And so, if non-black folks see this and don't react in a way that they're supportive, we got to question our loyalties, and folks around, because we can't be liberal for liberal's sake. I already support the undocumented folks here because I don't think about borders in the same way that white supremacists or capitalists think about borders, or imperialists and imperialists, I should say. I don't think about those borders in the same way, right? Along with a lot of other folks. So I understand that. I also understand xenophobia, is something that a lot of racists have, and it makes folks feel like they need to be nationalists. That's also the behavior that the Nazis exhibited, and then and folks who were who lived in Germany, between 1933 and 1945, right? Um, when Hitler came to power, and then they act like, damn, we ain't even see this happening, in terms of the Holocaust of Jewish people. So now we have right now with Black Lives Matter, and this is just black folks just kind of just really just waking up, like more black folks waking up. There's always been that radical, group of folks that's been like, man, something wrong here. We living here, something wrong. We going to work, we doing what we need to do. We We paying rent, or we got a bank account. We seem like we trying to be, live in America. America, white people. And we don't say that enough. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking white people. And white people don't say that shit enough. And instead, what happens is like, come on, I ain't talking about that race shit. So you don't want to deal with it until it blew up in your face. Okay. Um, that has to be dealt with. So we have this particular issue that is happening in America, and black men need to step up. Don't be talking to me about no buy black. Why would you say to me, buy black for? And we need to go buy your stuff. Let me explain to you something. When we talk about buy black, yeah, folks need to we buy black, and so that the resources are concentrated and it builds up our community. Understand what the purpose is? It's to build up and establish some economic base for black people. So therefore, when we talk about loans, we can get those loans, whether it be business, whether it be purchasing a home. Understand where this comes from. This buy black idea. You saying buy black is some what can we call this? It's very reformist. It's very more. It's better to say it's nostalgic. We really focusing on nostalgia because we'd already done buy black. What you think they were doing in Black Wall Street when there was like millionaires in 1920? They got bombed in 1921, right? You're talking about Oklahoma. You're talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're talking about the North Greenwood district, that was coined by Booker T. Washington as Black Wall Street because it was just millionaires around. So the money was circulating in the community. It was building up the community. That's the kind of power we're talking about, right? Where we talking about enhancing and building ourselves. We're not talking about that white supremacy, that white power, which is talking about overlording and being a hierarchy over us. So I understand that. It's important to know. So back to buy black, which black folks are like, we're gonna do buy black. Nah, motherfucker, you're going to protest. That buy black shit don't really fucking send a message. It has not sent a message. Y'all trying to do some y'all trying to revisit Rosa Parks. Y'all trying to revisit shit in the 50s and the 60s. But the whole time, that understanding, that education that we got from the 60s was to really focus on the economics, the political power, the socio-economic, structure that we have set up with just being in the community, can make us poor. What does that mean? Like you can just live in a particular place and you can't get a loan because you come from that particular place. So we can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's redlining. I know you say it's legal, but if you think that these banks are not doing this, you really don't understand. So buy black is not it's not a solution in and of itself. It's just not. Black Wall Street had millionaires. We had millionaires. Rosewood. You talking about people who are very wealthy and they were black. It's not that we can't. We did this straight off of slavery. We got to it. We didn't even get any resources. Understand this, that the black community didn't even get any resources. Remember 40 Acres and a Mule? You kind of heard that maybe one time, in elementary or wherever, you had history. But you rarely heard about that. We never even got our 40 Acres and a Mule. How can you just let fucking slaves go out and just like, yo, hey, y'all trying to figure it out? And it moved us right into sharecropping where we became sharecroppers. And so we were dependent upon white people who had land and farming. So when you say some shit about like why y'all need reparations, happens if you take a, you know what I'm saying, you make a person poor and then you say, get the fuck out of here and go ahead. You know that motherfucker not about to, come up. They're not about to do well. They're not gonna do well. You know what I'm saying? You're just not. You're not giving that was the whole, that was what the separation, separate but equal, argued against. That's what the lawyers argued against with separation, separate but equal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we separated from you, we segregated, but the government don't treat us the same way they treating the white folks. Like, they telling them y'all can go ahead and get land and they're going to get help, but we didn't get those resources because a segment of the white population, said they're going to die out. They're not going to be able to struggle, or if we can, then we can use them so that they have to be dependent upon us. Nobody want to hear that. So, black man, you can't just say money, because money just says you're going to move away from the situation. Because I know y'all style. I know it. You just don't want to fucking pick up heavy work. I understand. I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? When you come in the game, and I'm an athlete. When folks came out and, like, when you think about exercising, there's certain things you don't want to fucking do. When you think about exercise, there's certain exercises you do not want to do. You don't want to do the hard ones. But the hard ones is the ones that take you to the next level. Understand what I'm saying? I didn't want to jog, but I wanted to be on a track team. So I was like, yo, I don't have to, jog these long distances. Let the long distance runners do this. I'm a sprinter. I do the long jump, I'm good at this. I had to learn to do the jogging. I had to go ahead and do it. I had to endure that. You understand? Same thing when it came to, like, being a fighter. Your legs got to be good, but they got to be lean. Man, you can't be bringing those big ass. I see motherfuckers doing the squats and all that shit. I mean, like, if you saw the fight between Adesanya and I can't even remember that motherfucker's name right now, Ricky Martin lookalike, Costa. If you saw that fight, then you have an understanding that you can have big ass thighs and squat like a motherfucker. That's going to be looks, and that's beautiful. But I'm going to make sure my motherfucking leg can come up and whip around so it can hit you in the face. That's what happened in that fight. But I didn't want to do the kind of squats. You still got to do squats. Whether you want lean legs or you want the motherfucking thick joints, you still got to do squats. So my point is, black men, you got to do the work that seems difficult. Anybody talking about protesting doesn't do anything, bro, what you talking about? You got to do the protest, man. Protesting is not some shit that you first got to put the issues out there. What is protesting? What is it? Understand what the fuck it is. You have to make a demand. You have to say something. What are your demands? Make your demands known. You ain't just going to be working on, let me just work on this business and then I'm going to come out. Well, if the people didn't see you, then we question everything about you. If you're familiar with counterinsurgency or COINTELPRO, I'll say, then you have a better idea and an understanding. Yeah, I know I was going to come heavy today. But work with me, we're going to save it on here. What you have to understand is that we're naturally the black community is going to be skeptical often when we talking to even other black people. Like, I don't know where this joker coming from because we ain't see you. We ain't see the work. But if you've been doing the work like I have for fucking 20 years, you see the work. You know the work. Oh, we know we doing, we seen them. Are we consistent, with it? If you just coming out, so some of y'all be wanting to, get on, and y'all rock and y'all got a huge, fan base, or y'all have a small fan base, you just start and I ain't listening to nobody who's not doing the work. I don't care if you've been doing, I don't care if you just got on here and you've been doing, you could be somebody who's been doing the work and you just rocking. I'm trying to listen to you. I want to hear what you're saying. because we know that you're doing work. You in your local community and you making strides on the ground. And so we need black men to be on the ground. That's the point. You got to be on the ground doing this. Talking about you gonna go ahead and like an incubator, or you gonna be hibernating away from the work. What is the work? Communicating and building up with black men, black women. Um, some folks are non-binary. Black folks making connections to establish a political base, political power. Like, what are we saying? Right? We got to make. I mean, if black women are being targeted in the community, even by other black men, we have to speak up. We have to say something. If I hear a motherfucker start talking about, y'all know I curse on here, um, somebody's clothes, how the woman is, is dressing provocative. Um, like she don't need to be safe. Like you don't even know how your mom was out here. If you thought your mom was just straight like, you know what I mean, didn't like boys. If you think your mom didn't like boys, your mom's didn't do shit, man. You got a question. You know what I'm saying? You have this pure, this purity idea. And even if you had it, I mean, none of that shit make no sense. None of it. Because Malcolm ain't never said anything like that. None of our educators, none of our teachers ever said anything like that. I be seeing some of the dudes, and we talk about black women like black women can't be. We gonna protect black women because well she doing this and well she talking too loud. Well she what the fuck can she do? She too hard. You know what I mean? Then bro, you creating these roadblocks because you scared. If nobody told you that, I'm gonna tell you that. I done had enough fights in my life um, to know that challenges is inevitable. And the irony is, when you learn fighting, you fight less. You don't. I mean, I don't be fighting unless I'm in the actual ring. If I'm in the cage, I'm doing that. Outside of that, man, they it's just it's a mindset that that you don't have to be worried like the other person who has no idea what they're in for. Do you understand? So it's easier to be unapologetically black. I'm not gonna say all fighters because a lot of motherfuckers are scared in different ways. They're scared about their money, scared for a number of things. They might not be scared of the person that's gonna get in the ring with them, but somebody gonna mess with their money, they gonna be scared. I ain't scared of none of that. You know what I mean? Because it's been consistent. Like folks already show me their hand. Uh, we already see it. Uh, and here's the interesting thing. So I'm gonna make a transition. I felt like I talked enough about black men, and I want black men to kind of speak and bring your conversations. You know, uh, help me understand why you want to put black women down. How's a black woman too strong for you? How's a black woman too loud for you? I understand a person who listen. I got personal contradictions. I understand. Not liking a motherfucker. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying that, oh, I'm cool with all black women. That's just where y'all get this logic. That's crazy. It's the sense that even if I have an issue with this, I won't see a sister, be harmed in my presence. Says too much about me. You know what I'm saying? To allow sister to be harmed in my presence, to not, do this work. You don't have to be, we ain't talking about you being all love and shit. And we ain't even saying like you just, the love is intimate love. We talking about a particular love that's platonic, but it's also it's for your own survival. You understand? You protect the person who's bringing life into the world. Like logic. You know what I mean? We're not talking about your little things that you could get. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying, expensive cars, mansions. We're not talking about, all that extra shit, clothes, or jewelry, any of that right now. And that's your business if you're interested in that. I'm not even gonna, I don't hate on none of that. I don't think that's, if, you can't even use that against black women if she put on makeup or she doing jewelry or she doing car. I don't do none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. However, it don't make any sense to do that, you know, to hate on anybody for doing that. I say it's, people, misusing resources, that the community can use. Yeah, I'm gonna say that, often, but it's a separate issue from whether we're gonna protect, on black women and black girls, in our community, right? They're more vulnerable. Can we be honest with that? They're more vulnerable. Um, And this is not to say you got to be cool with all black women, but you got to be, you know what I'm saying? Don't say you a man. Why? Why would you say this? If you're saying you're a man, just say that, oh, wait, I can't bring children into the world. Don't say you a man. You're not the caliber. If that's okay with you to put down black women, I'm gonna shit on you all day. But let me leave that let me leave that alone. On anybody, I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, shit. Hell yeah, damn sure there be some black women out here who probably like, well, I don't like Omawale or such and such. But damn, man, when people say they are men and they think rational, why don't you also think rational in that sense? You think in community, you know? But I want to make a transition to talk about what this platform does, what Black VegFest does, the work that we do in our community, and the idea and the understanding of it. We can't house a whole bunch of fucking cats. People who know I fucking love cats and shit, But I don't house cats. I don't house cats, because with the cats are, they locked in the door. You live in New York City, you in a small ass place, they can't go outside. Who the fuck wants to be in that life? Now, I'm not, attacking anybody with that shit, Don't get on your motherfucking defense. That's just that's what I just started thinking 8 years ago, something like that. For some time, and then stronger and stronger, I've been thinking about them, and I don't know, I don't know what's in that animal's mind when that animal wants to go ahead and do something. Sometimes we be trying to figure out our own human fucking babies. You know what I'm saying? Now you really know exactly what that animal is thinking. So, Uh, that's not a Black Veg Fest position. That's my position. When it come to housing animals. However, I want to make clear to people that because I don't have the resources to make sure that animals, are in a animal sanctuary, like you got to pay for it. Like that shit is expensive. Like you really have to have that. I support that. I support animal sanctuaries. Um, I support um, protesting SeaWorld and any of these zoos that are out here. A zoo to put them in the cage, they don't have space. They don't have fucking space to, like, even in a professional, like if you do that to animals, well, they do that to humans, so they gonna do that shit to animals. You know that, right? So, if look at this society, it cages people who are nonviolent. 60 to 70% of the folks who are caged and locked up are nonviolent. And this system essentially says, well, we'll just lock them up. You know what I mean? That's how you don't handle problems like that. You know, when you sweep things under the rug, you make a worse problem, right? You know, so when I'm thinking about how animals are abused, it's very similar to how, you know, people are treated like animals. And you really get to see that when you see them, when you see how undocumented immigrants are, you know, treated by ICE and Department of Homeland Security. If you look how they're treated, and if you look how black and brown folks, especially black people, being tied to prisons, you know, here in the US, white people, y'all ain't making no fucking sense. White vegans. Why would you even think that I would just advocate for the animals to be free and not spend time on, you know, folks who look like me to be free? Crazy concept, right? It's crazy. Saying you hate humans. No, you don't. No, you don't. Trust and fucking believe. People will make you, you know, throw that idea out the window. So do understand what is happening to, you know, the humans. I can throw it around different ways. If we're already seeing what's happening to animals, um, then we're probably going to see the same thing happen to humans. But it's more on the flip side. Is like, you know, what is happening to, you know, to humans is going to happen to animals. If we're locking up people, then of course we're gonna lock up animals and we're gonna use their bodies. Of course, if we're this is fucking vegan intersectionality. So you understand, the vegan part comes from protecting and being ethical and ethically supportive and respectful to animals, not harming, you know, animals, being compassionate to animals, I should say. Vegan intersectionality is saying that when you look at prisons and how they pay them nothing or like 5 cents an hour to handle just anything. They're making belts over there. They make clothing. They make tests. We already know they make license plates. They make so many different things. They make utensils. They make so many items for all these companies all over the US, right? It's like we hope people do anything that we could charge them for. We hope that they remotely, you know, resemble criminals. That's we it's like the government is saying we hope that is the case. So when you have that same frame, now look at the animals. Look at the cow, right? An example that you've heard and you've seen so often. Look at the cow, and then I'm gonna go to a fish. The cow we look at, like we're gonna take that. We're gonna the first thing we want to do to the dairy cow is we're going to impregnate that cow so the cow can actually produce milk, right? That's how they produce milk, right? That's how humans produce milk, right? You know, crazy thing is when I was young, I thought they just had milk in them and they just, you know, but that's what they just told us got milk. They never explained anything. You got milk? We're not going to go into the details. So once they go ahead and they have that cow is able to excrete milk, the calf comes out, right? They do whatever with that calf, right? That calf is done, is good for veal. They're gonna use that calf for veal, or that motherfucking calf is dead. They kill that calf. Period. That's the calf. And you know that. And we've known about veal. We've known that. As soon as I heard about veal, I'm like, whoa, I would never eat that. I think I was young. I was like, what? That's what this is? Is a baby animal? That's crazy. Unconscionable, I felt. So anyway, but let me go through it real quick. So they take the skin off and they give you leather. They make it leather. They got the dairy. They got the leather. They got the veal. And they're gonna chop that cow up when that cow is finished. Can no longer give out milk or so the meat don't go bad. Whatever you know way they came to, to justify what time they're going to chop that cow up. That cow goes to meat, goes to the grinder, goes to your McDonald's, goes to your Burger King, goes to your Jack in the Box. Does Jack in the Box sell burgers? Anyway, they're gonna go. I don't know shit anymore about what they do. So they're gonna go through this entire process, but don't forget the gelatin, right? So they're also going to get the gelatin. They're gonna melt those bones down, and they're gonna sell that. So they're gonna make candies. They making so many things. I can't list every single thing that humans take from cows. The fish. Now they started, saying like, oh, the fish can grow food to help you grow food. What's it? Hydroponics. No, aquaponics. Aquaponics, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on. I believe it's aquaponics. And so they use the fish. I forget the particular fish, but anybody knows it, please, write on here. So I'm going through this end on Lula, so I might not be able to see it. So do let me know, y'all here. So now, but they also are going to eat the fish. So they're going to eat the fish. They're going to use the fish, to grow food, and then they're going to use the fish to eat, right? And so we do this on a regular basis, whether it be to cows, whether it be to fish, chicken, pigs, so on and so forth. The same shit we do to humans when this government locks them up. It's an exploitation. It's not treatment and incarceration. When you're incarcerated, it has nothing to do with treatment, has nothing to do with rehabilitation, has nothing to do with it doesn't even have anything to do with punishment. But they're being punished. It has to do with they making money. Like, figure out how we making these money. How we making money? We need to make money. Because even when the police department needs to be like, well, we made this arrest, and I made this arrest, and so on and so forth. And all they got to do is hold back the resources. Hold back the resource from the community. Watch the community go haywire. Seize the communities, the people in them, which are the resources, the human resources, right? And then they get to, make the funds, make money, right? So that's vegan intersectionality. That's what intersectionality it means, that you have that understanding, and this is how you, this is your praxis for organizing. This is my practice for organizing, utilizing unapologetically Black vegan intersectionality, right? Like, I can see these particular issues. I'm I'm already thinking in terms of oppressed communities, and I'm starting with my own. You have this understanding when you have vegan intersectionality. Now it's not about being self-righteous. I ain't perfect. If you listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you slap me, I'm not gonna just slap you. All right. So it's not about folks being self-righteous and shit. You want to treat me with respect, I'm gonna treat you with the respect. And in that relationship dictates to how I respond to you. Because a lot of people feel like, Amawani's a good guy. He's a great guy. Well, you're good and you're great to me. I'm going to extend first, my hospitality and my respect to you. Let me see what you throw back here. So it has nothing to do with being self-righteous, So when we hit the ground, don't act like when protesters hit the ground, please don't think that we're just going to be cool and nice. Nah, motherfucker, why? Why would we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? Why all of a sudden now it's placed on us? The onus is on us to be respectful to police after we got shot. Nah, please don't think it's going to be respectful. Do not think that it's going to be respectful in that manner. Please do not. I don't care how many cops, do performative, actions of, kneeling, whatever. Your best action is to out your fellow police officers. That is what you can do. That's the first thing you can do, and then get out, right? You know, that's what's helpful. So this is what Black Veg Fest, essentially, this is what we promote. Uh, October, I believe it's shit. I'm over here. I'm gonna guess the date. Yeah. Oh, actually, I know. It's October 17th. Me and Lori Kim, Black Veg Fest is going to be on and working with Plant Powered New York. Um, look out for it, and we're going to articulate that more in there. And you also check out Veg News. You can see a lot of the articles um, where my ideas will be on Veg News. Mercy for Animals. Just do a Google search on Mawali Adewale. Just this year. Just focus on. Just look at this year. You can look at other years, but look at this year. What we're talking about. And you'll have a sharper understanding on how we approach. Because I've definitely spoken with, Black community, Black folks, in terms of raising up. I've been raising up, being Black for a long time, um, consistently, unapologetically Black. Uh, Being consistent as a vegan, I found is also pretty easy, pretty simple, and is actually beneficial, to you. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about that on October 17th. I'm going to send more information. Essentially, plant-based, um, you know, uh, nutrition from a unapologetically Black vegan intersectional position, and I look forward to y'all being on there. I'll be back Wednesday. Well, Black Veg Fest will be back. Black Veg Fest will be back next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Please do chime in, and let me know your ideas. Let me